Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be kicking off this vlog. It feels like forever since we've got to like hang out casually. I know it doesn't feel like forever for you, like you've seen a vlog recently, but it's been a while since I filmed one and I'm excited. I'm excited to just read whatever I want, have a little fun, take you along with me for the next 24 hours. It's gonna be a little shorty vlog, but I think that's gonna be for the best. I am so excited to do some reading, y'all. I've been having to read for that like sit down video for the past week and it's been fine, but like I haven't been reading things that I've picked off my own accord, you know what I mean? Like stuff that's on my most anticipated list or romances that I'm super jazzed about. So I'm actually gonna pull up my Libby because I just got a couple of books off of hold from my library that I kind of want to read. I also have a fat stack of books that I got from Barnes & Noble last week that we can maybe dip into. So stuff I have from Libby. This book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. I think that's like a mystery thriller. That could be fun. I also have Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert, which I probably won't read considering, I don't want to say it's unexciting, but like it's for a list video and like, I don't want to read for a list video right now. I Think They Love You by Julian Winters. That is for a list video. I'm more intrigued by that one and it returns in 2 days, so I might pick that one up. Tell Me How You Really Feel by Betty Kayut? What? How do you say that? My vowels are failing me today. We've got that one, and then we've got a stack of books downstairs, so we'll probably read from one of those. And in terms of like other life things, if I have my way, Hayden and I are gonna go on a little date tonight. I feel like it's been a while since we've got to like really spend some good one-on-one time together, and our grocery delivery does not come until tomorrow, so we're kind of like, I don't want to say hurting for food, but like we need to go and procure our food. And instead of doing a little like car picnic, I don't want to have like an actual date, so we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited for my grocery delivery though, which is where the sponsor of today's video, Hungry Root, comes in. Y'all, we have been doing Hungry Root for the past couple of weeks and I'm kind of obsessed. Hungry Root is like the easiest way to eat healthy because it's like having a personal shopper and a nutritionist all in one. I feel like I've seen ads for Hungry Root before, but I didn't entirely know what they were all about. Basically, they take care of grocery shopping for you by recommending healthy groceries for your particular needs. So whenever I hopped on the website to sign up, I got to answer a bunch of different questions. I feel like questions that I've never been asked before. Anytime I've like done kind of online grocery delivery or meal kits or anything like that, were asking me flavor profile preferences beyond just like, oh, do you eat meat? Do you not eat meat? That kind of thing. And the way that they were able to come up with a grocery list for me and some amazing recipes for us to make that take under 15 minutes to prepare, it was kind of incredible. Hungry Root makes it so easy to eat high quality nutritious food and achieve any diet or health goals. Like I said, you kind of fill out your preferences and they will fill your cart with personalized recommendations. They get smarter as they learn more about you and your tastes. Like I said, Hayden and I were really blown away with our experience. Felt like it came at just the right time too. We hadn't gone to the grocery store in a couple of weeks. We got this amazing delivery, had incredible snacks that were to our liking. We had incredible, like easy to make breakfasts. The best part was the 15-minute dinners that we were able to prepare. What we had in particular that we loved was this like asparagus, bone broth rice, and prosciutto with like an Asiago sauce. Like I would not have ever thought to put this combination together. That's exactly what Hayden said. And it was so good and it came together so quickly. And if you're someone who has like special dietary needs or you have kids in your family, Hungry Root is such a good option. Plus there's no high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives in any of their food. And it's just like the easiest way to stay healthy. If you're interested in getting groceries delivered to your house and in creating incredible recipes that are super easy to put together, definitely want to take advantage of the exclusive offer for my subscribers because for a limited time, you can get 40% off of your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Click the link in my description down below, use the QR code on screen, or go to hungryroot.com and use code CAinsley. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com, code CAinsley. Thanks to Hungry Root for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna read first and more importantly, what we're gonna eat. Well, it has been quite a while since I filmed the intro to this vlog. Y'all, I had world's worst tummy ache after that Chili's and I was out of commission. Well, just for that day. But, you know, I just have not been really feeling reading lately. And instead of pushing myself to, I decided to come back to it when I was actually feeling like it. And today is one of those days. So I'm going to do my makeup, tell you about a book I'm 20% into, and also show you some empties. I feel like it feels a little weird to do that here on this channel, even if I'm doing lifestyle content. And I don't know why I feel that way. I love a good empties video, and I have been doing those over on my other channel, or at least I had been before I kind of like stopped posting there. And since I'm like, you know, consolidating everything's going here, I have to show you my empties. I've been collecting empties for so long, and my drawer that I collect my empties in has been overflowing. So I thought I could also show you the things I've used up. I love talking beauty products. And also I guess I can tell you about my no-buy experience as well over here because I mean, I'm only like 20-30% of the way into this book and I don't have that many thoughts so far. Anyway, I ended up picking up a book entitled, it's like Crash Landing or Crash Out or something like that, Crash Test by Amy James. Okay, this is a queer F1 romance about our main characters, Travis and Jacob. So, what I feel like is weird about this one is that these two are together before the start of the story, and I don't know how I feel about that because it's not like this is a true second chance romance. What happens is, at the very beginning of the story, Jacob, who is an F2 driver, gets into a really bad accident, is in critical condition in the ICU, and he is, I wouldn't say on like life support, but he's in like a medically induced coma, and we're just really not sure if he has like traumatic brain injury or like what has happened to him after this accident. But no one knew of the relationship between Travis and Jacob prior to this accident taking place. Now, I believe Jacob is bisexual, Travis is gay. Travis doesn't really have, any family. I think his dad is dead, his mom, he never knew, or something like that. Then kind of the opposite with Jacob's family. They are very much present, and Travis really wants to be there after the accident for Jacob, but he feels awkward because their relationship wasn't really known about, but he's, wanting to visit his bedside. And so it's a really tense way to open a book, and I definitely have emotions reading it, but I also feel a little cheated because we don't really get to see up close and personal their relationship prior to the crash. Now, is there effort being made to try and show us their relationship ahead of time or like prior to the accident? Yes, but it feels almost like reactionary and not like flashbacks. It's more like our hero, the only guy whose like point of view we're actually getting because, Jacob's in a coma. Travis, he has been like telling us about, their relationship and showing us like moments, but it's more like we'll be reminded of something and then he'll flash back to a moment that they had. It's not really a lot of like how the relationship began. I mean, it's attempting to, but it just, if you've read this book, I think you like understand what I'm talking about. It's just interesting the lack of real buildup that we're getting for this relationship, and yet the author assumes that we'll care at the very beginning of the story, I guess just because of the traumatic accident. And I'm like, traumatic accidents suck, but if I don't know your characters and like I haven't gotten to know them, how am I supposed to like feel deeply? I'm hoping that as the story carries on, we'll get even more flashbacks and just be, really waiting for Jacob to wake up and just like super excited for that to happen. But so far I'm kind of just like a little disappointed because I love the concept of a gay F1 romance. That sounds so fun, but I kind of wish it had been executed more like heated rivalry style. So anyway, only 30% in, so it's like still early days. I don't really know how I feel about this one, but I do want to finish this one because it is one of the new releases for a list video that I'm working on. And even, aside from that, I just, am interested in this book on its own merit. And I feel like it's been a second since I've read a queer romance, which I don't love. So I am excited to be getting into this one, even if it's so far not like perfect for me. Also, oh my god, I've got two twin zits on either side of my cheek, and I'm choosing to believe that that's like kind of cute that they mirror each other rather than being really irritated that I've got acne at 30 years old. So I guess we can transition into chatting a little bit about my no-buy experience. I haven't really chatted about it here on this channel, but I have talked about it over on my other channel. Basically, I endeavored this year to go on sort of like a no-buy, low-buy challenge where I don't buy makeup, skincare, home goods, Christmas decor, Halloween decor, anything really except for clothing, because as you may or may not have noticed, my body has changed quite a bit, so I needed to kind of completely redo my wardrobe. And honestly, it's been going pretty well. I'm not going to toot my own horn because there's definitely been some times where I have not listened to my own rules, but for the most part, I have really cut back on a lot of my like stupid spending, I guess you could say. I have mostly just been buying like clothes and workout clothes, trying not to use that as like my excuse to just like buy things, but that's really the majority of what I've been purchasing, with the exception of a couple of makeup items, mostly repurchases there, same with like skincare. I haven't really been trying new things or adding new things to my routine. My rule basically is like, okay, you finished a serum, you can buy a new serum. It doesn't have to be like the exact same one that you had previously, but you can't add like a new product category to your routine. That's kind of what I have been listening to, and it's been going very well. And because of that, I have been like using up a fair amount of stuff, and I'm very pleased with that because I feel like I have been really honing in on the products that I really love and like to repurchase. And I think this whole experience has just been showing me that I actually really enjoy the things that I use, and I actually don't need to try new things in every product category. Case in point, one of the, I don't want to say ways I fucked up, but this product, I talked about this in my last Empties video. I ran out of this product and I was like, you know what, I like it, it's not amazing, so let me replace this in my routine with something different. I replaced it in my routine with something different, didn't end up enjoying that thing, and then I ended up purchasing this again. So I ended up having two products in place of one, where I probably should have just repurchased repurchase this in the first place, if that makes sense. So anyway, it's been an interesting journey, and I want to kind of walk you through things that I have purchased because, I don't know, occasionally y'all care about like what skincare or hair care I'm using. I feel like some of this stuff has gone kind of viral because of Abby Young, so I will show you that after I am done with my makeup. Makeup done, hair out of my ponytail. I feel like I look a little bit less wild. Honestly, I don't want to say I don't know why I picked this outfit today. It was just because it was easy. I feel like my mood is not reflective, a little bit too zesty for how I'm actually feeling today, but this is from Bowden and these are from Gap. If you're curious, these are my favorite jeans. They're the mid-rise baggy, or wide leg or something like that from Gap. I'll link them in the description. They're like always on sale. They have a bunch of different colors. They're like lightweight enough for summer. They're so comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Let me show you my empties. So first up is this little bag of goodies, Nizoral. I use this as like my first shampoo. I have a flaky scalp and or a scalp that gets dirty very easily as well. I have found that washing my hair slightly more often and blow drying it, at least blow drying my scalp, has been really helping me, and this also has been really helping me. I alternate between this and the Pantene Volume shampoo. It's a clear shampoo, clarifying. I'll either use this or that for my first wash, and then I'll use like a more fun or like interesting shampoo for my second wash. My scalp is always nice and clean and healthy, and I'll be repurchasing this at some point. I think I'm gonna try to use up the Pantene clear shampoo though before I do this. I do prefer this, I think, to the Pantene, but I do kind of like both having them in the rotation, and Hayden has actually started using the Volume shampoo as his daily shampoo, so I can just steal a little bit from him whenever I want to use that. Anyway, ooh, this cleansing oil. I just finished this up. This is the Prequel Pre-Cleanse cleansing oil. I guess there's like a tiny bit. I might be able to get like one more baby pump out of this. This was good. I don't think I really understand the hype for cleansing oils though. I have always been a double cleanse girl, but I usually just use a regular cleanser to cleanse 2 times. I don't know. This might actually be a product I repurchase though. I do feel like this does a really, really good job at getting my mascara and eyeliner off. I use the Stila Stay All Day eyeliner, and that's the one makeup item that has a hard time coming off with just like a regular soapy kind of cleanser. So I do like this. I'm using the Prequel Cleanser as my actual cleanser, so they do work well together. I did like this. The product that I feel like I heard so many people rave about and I just don't really understand the hype for is the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen SPF 50+. This sunscreen is kind of a matte finish. Like, it's definitely not shiny or greasy looking when you apply it, but it is wildly thick. And I have found I would actually prefer something that has a little bit more of like a visible sheen, as long as the feeling itself of the sunscreen is lightweight. I was not expecting this sunscreen to feel the way that it did. I used it up, it was fine, but I felt like it was a little bit thick under my like daily face product that I have been gravitating towards. I've been using the Uniform by Merit, and these two, I don't want to say they don't go well together, but it's like a little bit thick under most items. I don't even want to wear this under foundation, so I won't be repurchasing this. I also stocked up on a ton of Korean and Japanese sunscreens about, I don't know, a few months ago. I think I did it around like Black Friday. Even if I loved this, I wouldn't be repurchasing anytime soon. Okay, let's round out the shampoo type items. We've got the Dove Bond Strength shampoo, conditioner, and the mask. Say out of all 3 of these products, the mask is probably my favorite. I love to use this after double shampooing. If I want to do a sleek hairstyle, specifically straighten my hair after washing, this makes my hair so shiny, but it also has the added effect of making my hair a lot less voluminous than I like for when I curl my hair. So I like this product. I think if you have hair that is less fine and less slippery, I think that may or may not work for you. I don't think it's like the richest hair mask ever, but it's also a little bit much if you have fine hair like I do. So I liked it. I actually have a backup of this that I'm using right now in my shower. And again, I use this pretty exclusively for when I feel like I want to straighten my hair. Now, the shampoo and conditioner I enjoyed, but I don't think these are anything amazing if you have, again, my hair type, which is medium density fine hair. It's very prone to not holding styles. It's very prone to being kind of flat. I curled my hair yesterday and I feel like it's looking so flat and lifeless today. So that's just like kind of how my hair goes. These are really hydrating. I feel like they do strengthen my hair. My hairstylist actually, after using this for a few months when I went get my hair cut, said she could feel a difference in my hair. They are really good. They are really reparative and nice. I think they're a little too heavy for my hair, and I've actually switched to the Garnier version of this, like, you know, their version of a Bond Strength line, and that works better for my particular hair type and texture. So good stuff, a little bit heavy. Also, these are very strongly scented, so definitely make sure you smell these if you are interested in getting them. They will linger in your hair for days, so if that is something that bothers you, maybe tread lightly. 2 body washes. We've got the Bioma Hydrating Body Wash and the Deuterium Salicylic Acid Body Wash. I'll just briefly hold these up because they're both gross. The packaging of these is gross. I think that's because they've been in my shower for a while. The Hydrating Body Wash from Bioma just wasn't anything particularly special. It's not very rich. It's not particularly hydrating. It's not stripping, but it didn't do anything special for my skin. I feel like it smelled like a spa, which was nice, but just kind of eh. And then the Perfector is actually my husband's. He really liked this. I think he has a little bit more body texture than I do, but I do like to shave my legs with this. It's got a really thick gel texture, and I feel like the salicylic acid kind of helps break down the skin a little bit. That sounds bad, but I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose of it. It's an exfoliant. I think it works really well if you have KP as well. I mean, it's not going to eliminate KP, but KP on the legs, it definitely helps when I shave with that item. Another Naturium product, the BioLipid Restoring Body Lotion. This, I think that I felt very neutral about for a while until I kept using this consistently. Okay, this is going to sound very white of me, and I know that. I don't really like applying body lotion. I will do it after I shave my legs, but it's just not instinctual for me to hop out of the shower and like grease myself up. When I started doing that with this moisturizer, I started noticing an actual difference in the KP on my arms. Now, this is not targeted at KP. It doesn't have any active ingredients, I don't think. It's just a really basic fragrance-free moisturizer. But this one, I think, just soothed my skin in a way that my skin really liked. I've actually since switched to like the retinol one that I have from Naturium, and my skin just does not like it as much, even though that one is supposed to be great for KP. I think I would repurchase this. I really enjoyed this body lotion. I actually have like a tub of the thicker version of this, like the body cream. So I'll report back on that one and see if it's, any better. That one actually has a little bit more of a scent to it than this one does. Yes, it's fragrance free. That one smells like their Glow Getter body wash, which has a very subtle kind of shea buttery smell. I liked this. I'm kind of sad that this is gone. I have been like going like this about 1 million times trying to get all of the product to settle so I can pump it out, but I think she has pumped her last 2 hair products. These are the last 2 hair products I have. Color Fanatic 21 Benefits Triple Sec by Dry Bar. These are holy grail products. I will never look to replace these unless they discontinue them. This I've been using for the better part of a decade, I think, and this has been in my life for at least 5 years. I love her so much. She smells amazing, and this is the product that I use in my hair. Actually, I wonder if I could... No, there's like nothing in here. This is what I use after I style my hair. I will curl my hair, I will hold it out like this, and I will spray it into my hair. It gives my hair just enough hold without feeling sticky or dirty or greasy. It doesn't make my hair dirty quicker, which I really like. They have 2 different scents, and they might have an unscented version of this. It's very strongly scented, so if you're interested in trying to style your hair like mine, be aware of that, but it's quite nice. It actually smells like perfume, so I like this. It's good stuff. I always have cans of this on deck, and a lot of times they'll do like 50% off for like Prime Day or whatever, and so I will stock up. It's the must-have in my life, as is this. This is the only thing, for the most part, that I use in my hair after washing it. I will spray this through my hair, comb it, and then do a little blow dry of the roots and call it a day. It smells good. It's a really good multitasker. It's like a heat protectant and detangler in one, and I think if you have a finer hair texture, I think this is great because it doesn't weigh your hair down, so I really enjoy this. And I have a new one in my drawers right now. Okay, this bucket is an interesting bucket. We've got skincare mostly. Got the Naturium Barrier Bounce and the Multi-Peptide Advanced Serum. This is the second advanced serum that I'm going through, and it's probably going to be my last. I thought that this product was making a little bit of a difference in my skin, and when I stopped using it, I felt like my skin was getting really, really dry. I think that was more like winter skin condition rather than this product doing a ton for me. It's a very lightweight serum. It's not bad, but I just don't think that for the price, this was doing enough. I think it was like $20, and this is such a small little container, so it was fine. It's just nothing that I feel like I really need to purchase again. Now this is a product that I feel like I really need. If you want to know my current skincare routine, the Prequel Pre-Cleanse, the Prequel Cleanser, and then I am using the Rhode Glazing Milk, tretinoin layered on top of that, and then I'm using the Barrier Bounce and the Rhode Barrier Butter. And that is like my skincare routine. Not every single day, but most days. The only real difference is I will switch out the tretinoin for either like no active ingredient that night or multi-acid milk from Prequel under my glazing milk to kind of exfoliate the skin. Because sometimes when I use tretinoin, my skin will be kind of a little bit flaky the next day, and that will take care of it. Anyway, this is godsend. I don't think this is for everybody. I have an incredibly dry skin. It is a very thick oil feeling and oil-based, I believe, serum. But I think that if you are having a dry skin day or a day where you just feel like your skin is just a little flaky around the edges, This is such a game changer. She smells amazing, so protectant, and I think even if you didn't have super dry skin like I do, I think this could be a good thing to just have on deck when your skin is irritated, or again, if you're trying to incorporate tretinoin into your routine. I really think this has been the reason I've been able to use tretinoin without having any major issues. This and the barrier butter, of course, but I really think this has been a huge game changer. It's got squalane, urea, and ceramide complex, and it really is just so soothing. It's looking like really gross around the edges because it's been in my drawer for a while, but love this stuff, and I do, of course, have a new one. Another sunscreen. This one is the Round Lab Birch Juice sunscreen. I thought this was fine. This was one that was very lightweight, but had a little bit more of a shiny texture in comparison to this one, which is like thick but matte. I definitely preferred this one to this one, and I was a little bit sad to actually see this one go. At the beginning, I wasn't sure how I felt about this, but I think this is a pretty good sunscreen, and I understand why people enjoy it. A moisturizer whose label has completely worn off is the Moisture Surge Intense from Clinique. I got this really big to size, I guess, during, again, Prime Day or Black Friday or something. I got a really good deal on it. Here's the thing. I love this moisturizer. It's kind of an oil-based moisturizer. It's not super thick, delightfully occlusive though. I really like this. I feel like it is very hydrating, but I think for what my skin needs, I think the barrier butter is a better choice. And 3 kind of random items. We've got Crest Gum Detoxify toothpaste. I actually really like this toothpaste. Foams in a really nice way. I think actually that's probably not great for you if you're someone who's prone to like perioral dermatitis. But for me, and for my gum needs, I quite enjoyed this. Love baths. Do y'all know that I love baths? I love bath oil. I love a bath experience. I use bath oil every time I bathe, and the Jo Malone bath oil is expensive, but it is my absolute favorite. It's a non-negotiable for me, and I took about a year to use up this bottle, so it was kind of worth the price to me. The English Pear and Freesia bath oil, right now I have like lime, basil, and mandarin. It's nice because it does not make your tub greasy. It also doesn't leave your skin greasy. It just fragrantly kind of smells up your bath. That's all I really want from a bath oil. Like, I just want it to smell good in my bathtub. Doesn't strip the skin or anything, but it also doesn't like grease up your tub. I use just like a little capful, and oh, what an experience. What an experience. And then last but not least, we have Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. Now, this used to be my favorite. I don't know if they've reformulated or if I just took too long to open up this brand new tube of mascara, but within a couple of weeks, this completely dried up on me, and it just does not hold a candle to my favorite mascara right now, which is the Tower 28 Make Waves. This is a fan favorite for a reason. It is so good, so separating, so lengthening. I don't know if you can really tell. It's drying up, so I feel like my lashes aren't looking quite as good as they normally do, but just okay. It's just okay. It's an okay drugstore option, but to be honest, I bought this in an effort to save money. This was not very much less expensive. I think this is like $20 and this was like $15. So I will pony up the extra $5 to get the mascara I actually like. That is it. Those are my empties. I really like talking about these things. I think it's fun. I'll leave links to the things that I have enjoyed, I guess, in the description down below, or if you want like my current skincare routine, I can also link that. That could be fun. I should also tell you what we're doing the rest of the day, right? I'm gonna finish this book. That is one of the things that I would like to do today. I also could probably read another book, if not 2 more books, just given the amount of time that I have on my hands. I do need to formulate what recipes Hayden and I want to eat this week. Craft them, let's be honest. I'm gonna find some recipes online, make a grocery list, and then Hayden and I are going to go to the grocery store after he comes back from the office. And we're also gonna grab food while we're out, so hang out with Hayden. It's just gonna be like a casual reading day, me and you, and I'm gonna yap, as one does. I like how I made my bed just to lay on it. I also have a companion, Pepper Ann. I don't want to go so far as to say I hate this book, but I'm really not vibing with it whatsoever. Jacob gets out of a coma, which is cool and all, but of course his parents are homophobic. He dumps his boyfriend because he just doesn't want to deal with explaining to his parents why they were in a relationship. I know homophobia exists. Sure do. Don't really love picking up queer books that focus on trauma. That's just not really like my thing. I think that my take on books, whether they're queer romances or straight romances or anything in between, there's enough trauma, there's enough sadness, there's enough bleak shit going on in every day that I do like a little bit of escapism in my romance. That's not to say that I don't want there to be conflict within my story or that I don't think we should touch on real world issues. But this is not the first book, right, to like have homophobia as the device keeping these two together, or keeping these two apart. It's just like, who is it serving? I don't know if that's like the question to be asking. And I feel like I'm not really articulating why it's so bothersome. I'm sure a lot of people have already articulated why it's bothersome. I think that you shouldn't have to come out to write a story. However, it's written by a woman. And like, why were you compelled to write this story that's like sad from the beginning? that centers on homophobia. I'm not going to compare this to A Little Life. I'm not going to. But it's like not what I am like super hyped to read. I'm gonna finish this, and then we can move on to something else. Okay? Makes me want to read something that centers on queer joy is really what that makes me want to do. Maybe I will try to find something after this that does that. Hello, fellow divas. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my hair. I'm at H-E-B. I just had Terry's for dinner. It was delicious. Got home later than expected, and I was ravenous. So P. Terry's was just the right move. I got the crispy chicken sandwich, spicy milkshake. Well, and a Coke, of course. Of course, I got a Coke. Let's chat, shall we? I really think they need to retitle this book to Crash Out, because that's kind of what I want to do about this book. At no point is this book romantic. Like, all of the stuff aside that I said in the last clip, and not even aside, like, I still feel that way. This book is kind of what the fuck. I additionally feel like there's just no romance here. At no point did these two spend a significant amount of time together, okay? Half of the book, guy's in a coma. Then he gets out of the coma, and they're not in a relationship after that, because he's unwilling to stand up to his homophobic parents until the very end of the book. What is romantic about that, you know? And I'm not saying like that plotline couldn't have been used. I mean, would I have enjoyed the book if that plotline was used in a different context? No, but why the coma? Honestly, like why the coma? She was just looking to pull on heartstrings immediately. But I think also like the narrators for the audiobook, the guy that was, what's the guy's name? Travis or whatever, the main guy who's not in the coma. He sounds like he's on the verge of tears the entire book, and it's just exhausting. Like I don't want to be emotionally taxed the entire time I'm reading a book. Like, where are the moments of triumph? Hello? Yeah, hated that. And I don't love that that's like the book that I kicked off this vlog with, you know? So we have to read something better. I just simply don't know what that's going to be. I do have books from Libro that I got for July. None of them are really jumping out to me. And maybe that's just because I have been getting hyped about like very specific new releases lately. But there's not a ton that I'm like, oh my God, we have to read this immediately. So maybe I will peruse a little deeper and see if I can find something for my Kindle. I talked about this over on Patreon. I've been having a hard time with reading lately. And I don't know what it is. I think I'm just like having a little bit of depression creep in, and I'm trying to fight that. And it's definitely not as bad as it was at the beginning of this year, but reading with my eyes has not been ideal. So it sucks that there's like nothing on audio that I'm like, ooh, I have to read this. Actually, you know what? Wait, I also have Libby books checked out. I don't know if there's anything from Libby though that I'm also like super hyped for. Not really. I do need to read like all of these books. Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert, Tell Me How You Feel by Betty, I don't know how to say her last name. Kaiwet, I'm not sure. This book will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. I'm not in the mood for a thriller right now, and I've heard mixed things about that one. I that on my most anticipated list. I don't really feel like it is anymore, but I like want to read it so that I can tell you at the end of the year how I felt about it. And then The Trouble with Anna, which be a romance. I don't know. I think that's the problem. I don't even think so much that it's that I don't want to read with my eyes, which is part of it. I think a bigger part of it is that there's just not any new releases that I'm particularly hyped about, which sucks because I have to read new releases for June and July. So anyway, I'll check in with you when I get home. I think I'm gonna get into my PJs and we can curl up with a book after I feed my cats, of course. I swear I'm like cursed. I think there's a curse upon me, maybe my family, maybe just me. I have the headache from hell, and I'm drawing blanks here. Actually, you know what? I'm not drawing blanks. I know what it is. It's my goddamn period. I really feel like I should, it's like, I feel like I might have PMDD. I think it would explain a lot about my mood the past few days and the headache that I've got right now. Being a girl is so fun. Being a person with a uterus, I should say, is so fun. Okay. I'm gonna try to rally though. Because I don't want this vlog to just be me complaining the whole time. Like it might be because I look scary and I feel scary, but you know what I did do? Tried some chapters. I've never done that video before, the try a chapter tag or whatever, where you like try chapters of books to determine which to read, but I decided to do that today. I picked 2 books from my physical TBR, they're new releases, that sounded interesting, okay? I went the queer route and picked up Winging It With You by Ship Pawns, because I was like, maybe I'll be in the mood for this one. It seems maybe a little bit too high octane for what I'm looking for at the moment, but it seemed intriguing. Okay, so we got this one, and we also have Battle of the Bookstores by Ali Brady. This is one I think I heard Carter talk about, question mark maybe, or post about on her story. I can't remember. Someone said they liked this book, and I was like, okay, sure. I read a chapter of each, and I think I'm gonna go with this one, but they both seem good, and it's renewing my faith and restoring my faith in humanity. Of course, there's plenty of great books I still haven't read yet, but you know what I mean? Like, I just was not feeling drawn to anything. But after reading one chapter of both of these, they're both great. So this one is about our main character, Asher, who is convinced to go on this reality TV show that's kind of like, what's that one where they like go around the world and complete challenges and shit? Epic Trek is what the fictional show is called. He's in the Boston airport, and his boyfriend, who convinced him that he should go on this trip, enter onto this reality TV show, he's like, I don't want to do this. And Asher's like, what the fuck? I agreed to do this, and I was excited that we could potentially win money for this program, this LGBTQ plus program that I wanted to start. And what the fuck? But his boyfriend, who is described as being quite homely, which I think is just a great way to describe a guy you're presently with, dumps him, or he dumps, Asher might dump him. I couldn't really remember exactly how that encounter went. I think it seemed to be mutual. Asher doesn't want to be with this man because this man is like, I don't want to go on this trip with you. Anyway, they break up, and he's at the bar, and he's like, I need to find myself a partner for this adventure. And I think he is going to go with a pilot named Theo. Now, we haven't met Theo yet, but first chapter is fun, and I like the way this is written so far. I don't know who Chip Pons is, but apparently he's a bookstagrammer, which is fun. Oh, wait, that's cute. Okay, I like his backstory. Here we go. He grew up in a small lake town in northern Michigan before eventually traveling the world as a photojournalist in the U.S. Air Force, where he met and worked alongside his dream of a husband and better half. He spent his entire life swooning over the love stories filling up his shelves and was brave or delusional enough to write his own. The dog together. He's on Bookstagram. Shout out to you, Chip. I'm excited to read this at some point. This is the one that I'm feeling, though, because this feels a little more cozy for what I'm feeling right now. This book's about Josie and Ryan. Josie is the manager of a bookstore, and it is literary fiction and select nonfiction that she helps to curate. It's a very curated bookstore. Feels a little high and mighty about her job, and she really wants to be really well respected in the industry. She gets a kick out of writing really thoughtful and tasteful reviews for arcs that she gets as a bookstore, manager. And one of her quotes actually is going to make it on one of the books, which she's super excited about at the beginning of the book. Unfortunately, her joy is short-lived because she finds out that the owner of the building that she occupies and the coffee store and the coffee shop next door and the other bookstore next door, they're all going to combine. And that other bookstore is a romance bookstore. And the guy who owns the buildings doesn't give a fuck. He's like, we don't need two bookstores. Y'all are competition, so whoever can convince me that they are not a better fit, but like whoever makes more money next 3 months gets to manage this general kind of bookstore. I guess it's going to be bookstore coffee shop. Josie and Ryan kind of don't hit it off on the right foot when they're told this information. Josie is like thinking that this guy is kind of snooty and rude, and he thinks the same about her, and she kind of disparages romance, and I think it's going to be fun. There's something about this that feels cozy, and I can't really put my finger on it. Actually, I probably could. It's the fucking font choice in this book. Let me zoom in on that for you. There you go. I don't know if you can really read that, but very aggressive font choice. I do love a good serifed font, but this is just a little girly pop, and I was kind of not expecting that. Like comparing this one, like this is what I consider to be kind of normal. Oh, I broke my nail, and it's like, yeah, irritating me. I keep snagging it on things. But anyway, this seems intriguing. I like the idea of a guy managing a romance bookstore. What I'm a little wary of, I'm actually not wary. Can I just say something that I fucking hate? I'm going to. Guy has a lanyard with pins on it, and one of the pins says STFUATTDLAGG. Nothing is more disgusting to me than that. I don't know what it is. Every time I read that, the dry heaving begins. I don't know when went from being so pro-smut to really being so anti, but here I am at the ripe old age of 30, just being like disgusted by very many things in the world, and especially in romance. I say that. I like sex, okay? I like sex in books. I like sex. I don't know. There's something about smut culture, I think, as a whole, is something I'm just not super into. I don't know. Do think that it speaks to a greater trend of, like lack of quality. And quality is something I seek. I seek quality and connection in my romance, and less so cheeky catchphrases or I don't know. You know what I mean? Just the culture of smut. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping. What I am gonna do is get my sorry ass into a bathtub with this book and just enjoy myself. Okay. I'm hoping there's not a sex scene on page 2. Let's fingers crossed on that. I think this is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be cozy and just what I need. And I'm going to check in with you guys tomorrow morning, I believe. I was going to try to get this vlog to you bright and early tomorrow morning, but honest, that's simply not going to happen because this is not edited. And I do want to get like at least 50% of the way into this book before I ceremoniously or unceremoniously, I guess, end this vlog. Hello, good morning friends. I'm all gussied up. I'm actually about to film a tier ranking video where I tier rank the romances that I've read so far this year. I got back from Pilates and I was like, you know what? I kind of like this outfit. I'm gonna stay in it for a little bit. And I did my hair and makeup and I'm feeling good. My hair's clean, so that's always a win. I wanted to let you know, I don't want to say my final thoughts on this book because I'm not finished with it, but I got 50%-ish into Battle of the Bookstores. I really like this. I think the pacing of this is what I am particularly enjoying, and I feel like I really went on a little bit of a rampage yesterday without describing my thoughts on the current state of romance and smut. I don't think it really needs to be restated. I talked about this in a vlog over on my vlog channel many times before, but I had like a specific little section in that video just discussing what has been bothering me lately. And it feels silly to complain about because I feel like for so many years I was complaining about the opposite, that there were so many romances that didn't have any sex and that felt unrealistic to me. But I think the pendulum swings in both directions, right? Like I think you can go from smut not being acceptable in books to smut being really, really prevalent and maybe overdone in books. I'm happy that there is a little bit of something for everyone. I think we're in a golden age of romance to an extent. I do think there are books to suit every mood. It would be awesome if I could find, more books that suit my mood, but unfortunately, I don't think you can really tell if a book's going to be for you until you pick it up. And I don't really like to rely on spice meters or whatever whenever I pick up a book, because everybody's idea of what spicy is completely different, you know what I mean? Because for me, it's not about the volume of scenes in a book. It's like, does it add to the storytelling and the connection between the characters, etc., etc. So anyway, back to this book. We're 50% in, and this has a real, enemies to lovers situation going on. I think this is supposed to be inspired by You've Got Mail. I've actually never seen that movie, but damn shame, because I feel like it's got some of my favorite tropes. But hero and heroine in this book are communicating on an online forum for booksellers anonymously. They have a friendship going on, so they definitely relate on a lot of levels and are very understanding online, but in person, of course, they are rival bookstore owners, and they are doing everything they can to make sure that their businesses are profitable. They've had, events to have people come in, and the hero of this book has been putting together blind date with a book and all kinds of different things that you see romance bookstores employ. I just find it refreshing, again, that the hero of the book is the one who owns the romance bookstore, or not owns, manages, I should say. I just think it's fun. I like the moments we've had of tension. I have found them sexy without feeling over the top. We've had a leaning into the heroine, into the bookshelf, kind of pinning her. It's been nice. I like that it's not moving too quickly, and I do think they're going to come to moments of understanding the farther we get into the book. So far, absolutely no complaints, and it's just what I needed. It's cozy enough, but has just enough tension to be exciting. I think for me, I don't really go for cozy books or books that are marketed as cozy because I feel like they tend to have no stakes and tension for me. But I like a little bit of that. I think a book has to have a little bit of excitement to carry the story forward. Otherwise, it's boring. That's also kind of how I feel about third act conflicts. I do think we need third act conflicts. I'm sorry, I know people don't like the third act breakup, but I kind of think a lot of the time it's necessary. It doesn't always have to be a breakup, but just something in the third act to keep our characters apart. They have to overcome that, to be together. Anyway, this is good. This is a fun time, and I'm excited to finish this off. Definitely not going to be anything less than 3 stars, but I'm thinking maybe more 4. I don't know about 5, but we shall see, and I will report back. This is a new release for June, and I'm doing a video at the beginning of August. Wow. August, where I talk about June new releases. There's 21 or 24 of them, something like that, and I'm working my way through them. Slower than I had intended. I was really hoping to get that video to y'all before the month is over, but just the way my vacation lines up, it's just not working. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me for the past, few days, or honestly, it's been a couple of weeks of me actually filming this. I will see y'all in the next one. I will show you my new doorknobs, which are hopefully coming in today, and we're gonna pack for my trip, and we're gonna read some romance. It's gonna be a good time. But thanks so much for watching. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.